Record this. All right, guys, so I am super excited to be talking to you today. I'm here in Las Vegas. I have Luke and Tamar here. They're like live participants in our team call here. But as many of you know, so there's a lot that I kind of want to try to touch upon. I've had, myself, Luke, Tamar, Tony, many other people from Beachbody. We've been here at an event called GoPro, which some of you may or may not know what that is, but it's an event put up by Eric Worre, who is a network marketing professional, and he has created this event in a sense that it's generic training, which I think is phenomenal, and it's awesome that he has done this. And so I'm going to be spending most of my call, just kind of touching upon just some of the things that I think I've learned, and there's so much more that I've learned. There's no way I could even kind of process it all and just kind of tell it to you all. So over the next couple weeks, you'll be seeing a lot of our discussions, our calls, level 2 calls. We'll also be touching on things. So make sure if you can make it to those calls, because we're going to be really digging in on a lot of the topics that we, Luke and I, that we all learned, during these 3.5 days. So just a couple quick things. So thank you so much to all of you who went to Super Saturday. You don't know how much it meant to me to see all these pictures, because I remember when I first started, and I remember it was just like me and Luke. Luke would come with me, and it was just us two, and that's it. And so it was just, it really was amazing to see all the pictures. I love the one, I don't know who did the picture showing the arrows within the group page. I love that. It was so fun. And I love that some of you guys got to meet each other. And so thank you so much for taking the time. The next one's in January. You all see how amazing these events are. So make sure to just continue to talk to your downline to get them to these events. Events, nothing can recreate an event, whether it's a Beachbody event or whether it's an event like I just came to, or whether it's Summit. So we need to, I know I'm going to be pushing events all through the rest of, all through 2016. I have tons of events planned. Super Saturdays are definitely, must. We actually went to one here in Vegas yesterday, and it was just really awesome. We got to hear from Pete Pena. We got to hear from Scotty Hobbs. And so it was just like such a great event. So definitely thank you all, for all of you. And shout out to Ashley Garrow, who who potentially will be helping with the next Super Saturday in her area. So I'm really excited for her and that leadership and taking on that leadership, because that's really awesome. And then, as some of you heard, we have November Fall Classic coming up. For those of you who went to Super Saturday, you heard about this. So November Classic registration will open starting October 19th. And similar to Team Cup, except this is 3 people. And so all of you, I would really like for all of you to really be that leader in a group with 2 other people. I would really advise you guys to branch out. Don't partner up with each other. Try not to, because you all are leaders. And so look for other people and lead them in the classic. And there'll be prizes. It's for all of November. And it's going to be based on Success Club points and rank advancements. And so definitely, think about who you would like on your team, just so that we can definitely get the momentum running, in November for the team. And then, as some of you guys who went to Super Sat, you guys heard about the challenge group app that came out. And so that's something that I have not had a chance to look at, but one thing that I know it's going to be in my to-do list over the next week, or in the next week, because actually what I would like to do is run a 2-week at least a 2-week challenge group within our team to try out this new challenge group app. So that we all do it together, because really it looks really awesome for some of you who didn't get to see it. But you'll be able to know if your challenger is drinking Shakeology, if they're doing their workouts. You'll be able to schedule posts in the challenge group, which is really awesome. When you're busy, you'll be able to do all of that through the app, and everything is within the app. So if you grow on Instagram and you get a lot of your people on Instagram and they're not on Facebook, you can plug them into this app. And so I think it'd be great for us as a team to try it out, and just so that we have that experience. And then come November, we'll be able to start trying it individually. Let me turn the mute off. Okay. All right. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and start talking because I know some of you guys are tired and I don't want to keep, I don't want to keep you guys. All right. So basically, what this event did for me is that it showed me a lot of things that we were doing right, but it also highlighted a lot of things that we have been doing wrong. And I take the onus on that because, I lead this team and I have taught many of you and you guys follow what I have done. But it was definitely just a very humbling and very eye-opening experience. And like I said, there was 8,000 entrepreneurs, all from all the network marketing companies across, in the world. I mean, people came from all over the world for this event. And what I loved about it was that, and for those of you who are going next year, which I must say we have almost 60 tickets already called for next year. So that's amazing. Out of 100 that we have 60 of them already spoken for. And so that's really, really incredible. And I'm happy about that because I had to pay for that. But what I loved about it was that it was a safe zone in a sense that none of us could wear our paraphernalia. None of us could wear what team we were in, what brand. You didn't know who people were. At the end of the day, we came in as entrepreneurs, professionals within network marketing and wanting to learn more and wanting to learn how do we build this profession and what are the skill sets that we need for this profession. So what I want to start with is that in the very beginning, what we're doing, this business, our profession, this is not a sprint and it is a marathon. So a lot of people come into this business, they want to make money fast. This is not a get rich quick kind of business. This is a marathon. And so I want you all to ask yourself how have you been thinking about this? Have you been thinking about this, that this is going to happen really fast? Or have you been thinking about this, that, I know this is a business and that this is going to take time to build? And so, because I know for myself, I look at this as a second profession. This is a second profession for me. And in a few years, if not, within 2 years, this will be my livelihood. And so I take this very seriously. And I want all of you to take this seriously. And I think, and so one of the things, and what this, another thing that this conference did for me, and a lot of you, some of you know, when I went to my first summit, it really showed how Beachbody is a business. And now it has completely professionalized this business for me. I mean, there are people, our business, Beachbody corporate, is a very small business, and we are going to, for lack of better terms, take over the world in a sense. We are in the USA and we are in Canada and we are going to Europe and we are going to Australia and we are going to other countries, the same way that all of these other network marketing companies have. And so with that, I see nothing but opportunity. And I see opportunity for those of you who take this seriously and really take this as a business. And so for me, this really professionalized, this company for me. Everyone who was in that conference, 8,000 people, they weren't in sweatpants. They were in suits. They were in dresses. They came ready to work. This was their conference. This was their professional conference. And for me, that was incredibly eye-opening. And I know for me, it's going to be game-changing for me and my business and how I run my business. And when I look at other teams that are very successful, I see that professionalism in ways that, that I have not led this. And I know at the end of the day, it stems from the leader and everyone kind of follows. But know that is something that I'm going to be working on. It's how I present myself professionally amongst you guys and amongst also within my profile and how I portray this business moving forward. And so, one of the things that I know that we have to one of the things that I took that we have to start doing better is that from the very beginning, we need to start setting expectations for those who enter our business. A lot of times, and when I think about it, this is a network marketing business. That's what it is. Beachbody actually started more within fitness. It started as just DVDs and infomercials. And the network marketing part of it, the business plan of it, came after. And I think I think now corporate is starting to understand that, because some of you, if you guys went to Super Saturday, you may have noticed that, Carl Deichler at the end of his video said, everybody, we need to stay in phase 1. We need to stay in inviting. We need to stay in prospecting. We need to stay in that phase one. That language is network marketing language. It's sales language. It's network marketing language. And it's because I think for a long time, a lot of people were just leading with challenge packs and leading this as just a fitness business, just a fitness kind of opportunity. And honestly, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. You can do that. But that's going to leave you at a very hobby-ish income. If you want to take this to the next level, you need to understand that you need to lead with the opportunity. This is an at-home business, and you need to lead with that. And you have to understand that. And so that is what has been, in a sense, it's not you. I'm just kind of expressing that in the beginning, Beachbody, I think, was teaching that, and the coaches before us were kind of running with it like that. But now I'm starting to see more kind of as I'm kind of doing my research, that I'm hearing more of that language of, like I said, of the phase one, and I'm seeing more of understanding that this is that this is truly a business. And so when I say setting the framework and understand, for people who are entering this business moving forward, all of you guys, you have been with me for a very long time. Some of you more new, but moving forward, we need to kind of set this moving forward is that, setting income expectations. Yes, it's great to kind of express that some of us, do make a lot of income with this. Some of us make small income, but it's all proportion to what we work. At the end of the day, it's all proportion to how much effort we put in. And so if some of you want to put in less effort, that's fine. At the end of the day, it's your business. That's fine. But you cannot then compare yourself to someone who's making more income and you're not doing the same amount of work. You have to be honest with yourself, and you need to know how much work are you putting into this. And don't go comparing yourself to someone else who's doing more work than you. Because that's not fair to you, and you're not being realistic with yourself, and you're just going to get frustrated, and you're going to become doubtful, and you're not going to, and that's not going to help you grow. So setting income expectations with people coming in and saying the amount of work you put in is what you're going to get out. Also setting time expectations. Again, time. All of you who have good income right now, you know how much time you put into this business. This is not I'm going to work this for an hour, and then 2-3 days later, I'm going to work this for another hour. And then 2-3 days later, I'm going to work this for another 45 minutes. This is a business. In a business, in an everyday business, they come to work every single day. If you don't open that door, your mouths don't get fed. That's how, you don't make money. And so you need to work this business. And so time expectations. So again, it's going to be related to how much time, if you want to see a certain amount of success, you need to put in the time. And again, I'm only expressing to this. At the end of the day, you choose. But I'm just letting you know your choice and the amount of time and the amount of effort will give you the results. And again, the amount of work, just giving expectations on the amount of work and the fact that, it's going to be a skill set that people are going to need to learn. I didn't come into this knowing any of this. Like I said, I just came to GoPro, and I've learned so much. And yet I'm still successful 2 years later. So know that this is a life, it's going to take work, and it's going to take trying things, and it's going to take, failing through things, and it's going to take really, giving that effort because I've been working this business for 2 years, because I tried regardless, because I failed so many times. Many of you know I've tried things all different times, but now that I've come to this event, it gives me a different framework than if I had just come to this event and not had any experience. But because I've tried, I can recognize this is what I've done wrong. And now it's time to fix it so that we can continue growing as a team. We have the potential to be an amazing team in this company, to be a top performing team in this company. And I know I am going to be a top performing person in this company. I have no doubt about that. And I know many of you can do that, but you have to want to do that. I can't do the work for you. And there's a lot of potential, because I saw 25-year-olds, 23-year-olds making 7 figures up on that stage, 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds. And a lot of you came into this business, and a lot of you are in this group because you see this as a business. But a lot of you have not been treating it as a business. And I take the onus a little bit on that, because I didn't set that expectation from the beginning. But I'm trying to write, to kind of start, I want to educate you guys so that you guys moving forward can continue to grow and learn from my mistake and continue to then move forward and start shifting your mindset on this business. And again, it's not to kind of, and when I say when you're kind of setting expectations for new people coming into this business, it's not to scare them about what the expectations are. It's just to be honest. Eric Worre said, the truth is enough. The truth is enough, because all of you know what happens when you have a team of people who are not building. It only frustrates you. And it's like dead. It's just dead. It's just like a dud on the tree. It just frustrates you. So you want to look for people who are going to take this to the top with you. You want to look for people who are going to want to influence others with you. You want to look for people who are going to be in this 10, 15, 20 years from now. And one thing that they said that I thought was really great was that they talked about a military. They talked about a military. You have your army, you have your military people, and there's a huge number of the basic kind of level, the basic military. And they go in and you have them, but then you have your elite amount of people. You have your Navy SEALs. They're the ones that get the job done. They're the ones that go in and they do all the hard work. They're the ones that get, they do all the dirty work, but they're an elite group. And so for you guys are looking for your Navy SEALs. You guys are looking, and you need a very small number of them. But finding those small numbers are going to take work, and it's also, most importantly, it's not even just the work, but most importantly, it's going to take growth on your part as a person and as an individual. It's going to take that growth. And so there was one thing that I thought was, one thing, and it kind of ties into this, that I thought was really great. And some of you have heard this because I was telling you guys over the weekend. But there's a saying that they really highlighted, when someone's coming into this business. It's the saying is, I will help you build the business. I will help you build the business. Everything after the word you are responsible for. Everything before the word you, I am responsible for. So you build your business, and I will help. If you don't build your business, I have no job. If you don't build your business, there's nothing I can help you with. And so, and they gave the analogy of a jockey and a horse. And a jockey's job is to guide the horse. The horse comes in, and what's the job of the horse? To run. Run. And the jockey will guide the horse. Never will you ever see the horse stop, the jockey get off, the jockey put the horse on his back and run the race. And a lot of coaches come in, not you guys, I'm saying a lot of coaches come in and want us to run the race for them. And that's not how this works. And that's not going to help you be successful. Because to make it into that six-figure income, to make it, to affect the hundreds of lives, to live the life that you all want, whether it is mission work, whether it is, living on the beach, with your family, or whatever your vision is, it's not going to take someone else doing the work for you. You have to do the work. And so that was that part. So a couple statistics that I thought were really great. So the average doctor spends 18,000 hours of practice before they even start. And the average athlete spends 10,000 hours of practice before they become elite. So think about that, because many of you get really frustrated after 4 weeks. After 4 weeks, after 2 months, after 5 months. But you're not putting in those same amount of hours. And it's not you, and when I say you, I'm not like pointing at you guys, but you like, it's just kind of a collective you, it's just kind of coaches in general. And, so I want you all to kind of, ask yourselves, especially those of you who really, really want to change your life and really want to take your family to the next level financially and really want to have those six-figure goals. And some of you even have seven-figure goals. I know, because you've told me. And so if you want that, you have to be willing and ready to put in the work and get rid, and do the short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain, for the long-term vision. And so one question that I thought was really good that we're going to ask in the other group as well is, how much would you pay yourself for the amount of work that you did last month, in the last 30 days? How much would you pay yourself for the amount of work you did in the last 30 days for you to do it in the next 30 days? Ask yourself that question. Would you pay yourself a lot? If you had an assistant, would you pay them, how much would you pay them for the amount of work you did in the last 30 days? And that's a question for you to answer yourself and to kind of think about it. And so one thing that, and with that, there's this idea, and at the end of the day, we all, I truly believe that as humans, we're not meant to be sitting down. We're meant to be in motion. We're meant to be moving. We're meant to be helping others. We're meant to be contributing. We're meant to be working of some sort. A lot of you bust your butt at your jobs and you're so tired, and you come home and you're exhausted and you're dreading going in the next day. And so a lot of you are putting in all this hard work. And what I'm trying to tell you is that you can put in, why not put in this, your hard work into something that's going to really grow for you exponentially, and can really take you and your family and your goals to the next level. And so a lot of people, and I've been guilty of this. You want to do less for more, right? A lot of people want to do less for more. But that's and they made a really poignant point, what I thought was really, really great. And I was just like, wow, I never really thought of it like that. But it's just like, a lot of people want to do less for more. And that's a really hard and scary road to go on. Because if you think about it, you want to do less and less and less for more. And at the end of that road is that you want to do nothing for everything. And that doesn't make sense. That's not feasible. You all know that that's not feasible. I know, because I can tell on your faces as I'm kind of asking you these questions. You know that that's not feasible. And so what I'm trying to tell you is that you have to come to work. There's no excuses. If you want this business to take, because it can take. I mean, I know it's going to do it for me. I know it's going to do. I've seen what this beautiful profession can do for so many people. And I'm super excited for the fact that we're such a young company. And so what I want you to know is that, the world is yours. It really is yours. This opportunity, this business can give you what you want, but you're going to have to work for it. And so, So one thing that I kind of thought was really great too that they said was that, so when you look at network, so at the end of the day, your success, what's going to make you not successful is going to be you. It's going to be your self-limiting beliefs. It's going to be your fears. It's going to be your thoughts of failing. It's going to be you. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be your parents. It's not going to be your spouse. It's not going to be your best friend. It's going to be you. And so what I love what they said is that network marketing is personal development with a compensation plan. So some of you who've been working at personal development, you're on the right path, because all the time, the underlining theme between, amongst all these coaches, amongst all these people who are up there, is personal development. Every single day, personal development. Why? Because we're all human and we all have fears. And we all have doubts, and we all have insecurities, and we all, are concerned about failure, and we all have all these other issues. And so we need to continuously be working on ourselves. It's a lifelong learning experience. And some of them have read books. They're reading books hundreds of times over the course of their lifetime, people who have been network marketing professionals into the 60s. And so that to me is just kind of hitting it hard, hitting it home, that personal development. And honestly, we as humans ourselves, we are our limiting, we are what's limiting us. And so, and honestly, for me, that is one of the main reasons why I do this. That's probably the main thing that pushes me of why I love this business. It doesn't have to do with fitness. It doesn't have to do with money. It has to do with the fact that the possibility of helping you all achieve your greatness, that drives me. And it's not going to drive all of you. You're going to have other reasons for wanting to do this, or other reasons where Beachbody can help you achieve whatever your passion is. But for me, my passion is this, is helping you, motivating you, and helping you achieve, what you are capable of. And so for me, that was just a very, one of the main reasons why I really enjoy this. And so when they said there's 3 steps to success, and I'll kind of go through this, but there's 3 steps to success in network marketing. Number 1 is developing your inner game. Number 2 is the skill sets. And then number 3 is your game plan. So I'm going to talk more about your inner game, and then skills and kind of game plan. But your inner game. So one thing that I thought was really powerful, 8,000 people, 8,000 entrepreneurs, motivated people, they're here in Las Vegas. One person walks up and says, 80% of you will not succeed. It's the truth. 80% of you will not succeed. You're here, and you know why? It's because you're going to give up, and you're going to quit, and you're going to limit yourself over and over again. And why? It's because of the inner game. It's because of yourself, what you're telling yourself, the limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself. And so this has to be a lifelong learning. You have to be willing to develop yourself. If you want a 6-figure team, you need to grow yourself into a 6-figure leader. If you want people who are motivated and driven and consistent and disciplined, you need to be those things. Because you're going to attract people like you. And so if you're not really liking who you're attracting, you're like, ooh, that's really a kind of face-to-face of who you're attracting. And so think about that. And it's okay. It's okay if you don't, but what I'm trying to say is that you need to really develop yourself into that person that you want to attract. And so lifelong learning, like I said, all those people up there were just reading books for life, and they were just reading it over and over again. Some sort of personal development, investing in themselves through these seminars. That's why I said, we have almost 40 people from our team going next year to GoPro. That is amazing that 40 of you have committed. I'm super excited, and I can't even imagine how you guys are going to feel, if you stay consistent this year, because a lot of you, you're going to be laughing when you hear these things. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, I've been there. I know I've been there. And it's going to be in 2017 is going to be even more phenomenal. So that's why I'm like jumping in the video. Like, I'm so excited because I know that we're going to have such a huge presence next year. And so in terms of developing the inner game, many of you know social acceptance is really big thing. There's a lot of coaches out there that some of you don't care. I know some of you don't care, but your downline and the people you bring in really care about what other people think about them. And that's going to hurt them. It's really, really going to hurt them. And so, what I want to kind of drive in is that at the end of the day, not everyone's going to agree with what you're doing. At the end of the day, most people are not going to understand what we're trying to build. And most people are not going to understand what you want to build. And what I want you to understand is that you stand for that positive energy. You stand for, that positivity in this world of darkness at times. You stand for that constant high, just that positive spirit is what you stand for. And a great quote, that they said that I thought was really great was that, the worst thing that will happen is that ignorant people will think less of you. And that's the worst thing that'll happen, is that ignorant people will think less of you. And I don't know about you, but I'm okay with that. Because I know I want to be surrounded by like-minded people. And so that's another thing they talked about, which is laws of association. Be careful who you spend your time with, because people are either building you up or they're bringing you down. Or, are the people around you programming you or programming your mind to be mediocre or to be exceptional or to push yourself for greatness? And if you're around people that are not building you up, then you need to seriously reconsider those ties and sever those ties. Because if you want to be successful, you need to be around successful people. And this team right here is a very successful group. There are a lot of really motivated people in the, most of you, if not all of you, are all very highly motivated. You're motivated in your other careers. And if you stick with this and you stick with me and we work together, you're going to be very successful in this career. And so, but just be careful who you spend your time with, because there's a lot of negative people out there, and they're going to do nothing but bring you down. And if you're not emotionally strong, which was something Tony Robbins says, your best muscle is your emotional muscle. If you're not emotionally strong, those people are they're going to have their way with you. And you have to be emotionally strong. And how do you do that? That's with repetition, personal development. Like a muscle, it grows, it needs to be pushed. It needs to hurt. You need to go out of your comfort zone. That is going to help you build that state. And so they said, you need to really take responsibility for who you are, take responsibility and be inner directed. At the end of the day, you guys should not need me. You should not need your upline. You should not need us to be determined to go after your dreams. It has to come from within. And again, this is personal development, as you can see, and it's lifelong learning, because obstacles are going to come into your life, year after year after year. You're going to have continuous obstacles. And so your results in your business are an expression of you on the inside. And so if you want to be successful in this, again, I'm just kind of driving in that you need to really be working on yourself for the rest of your life. You're going to be working on yourself, because for me, I want to have a 7-figure team. I need to grow myself into that type of leader. And the same way for you guys, you want to have certain time, and you need to be able to grow yourself into those roles. And the beauty is that you can. That is the beauty, is that you can. And so one thing that I kind of wanted to just touch upon, I'm touching upon a bunch of different things, but that this all this comes down to your paradigm. And this was a talk that the guy from The Secret, one of the guys from The Secret, talked about, which was your paradigm. And your paradigm is your mental program that has almost exclusive control over your habits, your mental program. And so a lot of people have a very certain type of paradigm. It's what's limiting you. And the scary thing is that other people's habits, i.e. your family, the generations before you, influence your paradigm and have created the paradigm that some of you still have right now. And so here we come, successful people wanting to tell you to dream big, to go after your dreams, to be an entrepreneur. And it may conflict, and it does conflict, because we're telling you to be positive. We're telling you not to care about what others think. We're telling you to be driven, to be disciplined, to rise to the challenge. And that can conflict with the paradigm that has been given to you. And so where you are now in your business has a lot to do with that paradigm. And in terms of building your business, where you are now and where you want to go, which is your goals, are going to have a lot to do with how willing are you to change that paradigm. And the way that you change that paradigm is with repetition, surrounding yourself with like-minded people, feeding your body, feeding your soul, feeding your mind, but that repetition of those ideas. And when you hear an idea and you get excited, but then it quickly kind of dissipates, you have to listen to that excitement, listen to that thing listen to that fire, because that, there was I think Tony Robbins said, or someone said, like the soul set on fire is a paradigm shifting phenomenon. And I thought that was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. When you have that fire, some of you say, I have never been more excited than when I'm doing this. And I mean, and I've told people, for me, take it from me, I'm a physician. I have dedicated 10 years of my life, and I make 6 figures in my job. And I'm willing to walk away. I'm willing and knowing I'm going to walk away from that because of this, because this drives me, this fires me up. This I'll wake up excited to do. And I feel like my work is even more than what I could accomplish in what I was doing before. And so, and I think that's going to speak volumes to a lot of people in the future as we continue to rise as a team, that you have lots of physicians on your team, which you all do. You have physicians. There's a lot of physicians in this team, a lot of healthcare professionals in this team. And so just really think about your paradigm. And I want you guys to think about that, because we spent like a good hour on that, within the conference. And then one thing that I kind of want to really just touch upon is trading. And again, I'm telling you little nuggets. Like I said, this was like just, these are all like little nuggets, and like there was much, much more. This is all one day. This was all, I just did day one of this conference. So imagine day 2, day 3, and this wasn't even the Tony Robbins day. This was like another day. That was like another day. And so, but one thing that I thought was really powerful is trading your expectations for appreciation. And the way that he said is that so many of us, we expect certain things. Even within ourselves, we're expecting to get results in like 2 days. We are expecting, I don't know, to make a certain amount of money in a certain amount of time. So all these expectations, and it's trading your expectations for appreciation. Because think about it. If you don't enjoy where you are now in your life, if you don't enjoy the journey, while you don't have much money, what makes you think it will be different when you have more money? And they gave a really good example of someone like Robin Williams. Someone like Robin Williams, who achieved so much in his life. He was what they call the science of achievement. He had mastered whatever he put his mind to, he did, but he was not fulfilled. And that comes from not being appreciative of where you are in your journey. And so think about that, because all money does is enhance how you feel. So if you feel shitty, money's not going to change that. You're just going to have a lot of money, and you're going to have, it's just going to make you do things that maybe you didn't have the resources to do before. That could be dangerous. It could be, crazy, but just think about that. And that's why personal development is so important, because some people in our team suffer from depression. They've had really bad histories, and it's like, that's still a mental, that's still a mental state. That's still a mindset that needs to be shifted and needs to be changed. And I think that's really powerful. Money's not going to, improve it's going to enhance who you are. So if you're a giver, if you love to contribute, if you love to help, money is going to enhance that. If you're sad and you're alone, money is going to enhance that too. And so think about that kind of as you're kind of going through this and just expressing gratitude. All these wealthy people, it's just incredible, just the amount of gratitude they have and how much they give. The more that you give, the more that's given to you. And so for me in my own journey where I am, I know that's a big part for me is expressing more gratitude in my life and giving more. That's where I'm at in my journey when it comes to, for some of you going to Tony Robbins, you're going to see that. They're going to talk about contribution and service. And, and it's in there with believing in yourself. I believe in myself. And so, but contribution and service, those are things that I need to continue to work on. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about with the inner game. And again, this was just a little bits of it. But so inner game was number 1, skills. And so skills, this is a relationship building business. And so one thing that I know I am planning on doing moving forward if you're someone that doesn't like talking to people, that's not good. It's not good for this business. You're going to need to, you really need to hone in on those skills that are going to allow you to communicate effectively with other people about what we have to offer and about who we are. And honestly, it's not yes, we communicate about the products, but it's not about the products. It's about a lifestyle. And a lot of you have felt the lifestyle of just how you feel, the positivity, the support, the community. That is really what we have to offer. And we have these products, but if you are someone that you feel like you don't have a lot of success and you don't know how to bring other people in, think of just how positive people are around you in this team and how it's giving you drive, how it's making you dream again, how you're believing in yourself. Those are things, if anything, that people most need. And that is what you need to be posting about and sharing about. And so one thing that I know for me, moving forward as a game plan, as I start thinking about a game plan, is that new coaches coming in, we need to really start, they really need to start making videos, getting comfortable with making videos and telling their story effectively verbally on the phone. Because for me, when I talk to people, I can tell them my story. And you all need to develop your story. Your story is, how did you feel before you came into this? What changed? And then how do you feel after you've come into this opportunity? And I will continue to tell my story millions of times moving forward. And so what I've done is I haven't taught that. And so as a result, you haven't done that. So that's one of the takeaways that I took from this is just teaching people how to effectively, and it's not so much teaching people, but giving them the opportunity to break past that fear. Because for a lot of people, it's fear. But with, how do you get rid of fear? It's like, it's practicing. Yesterday at Super Sunday, I stood up and I talked in front of a bunch of people when they asked a question, and someone came up to me after, like, you speak so well. And I'm like, well, my heart was racing and my heart was pounding and I was sweating. And it's because, and people say I talk well on camera. The reason why I talk well on camera is because I've done a lot of presentations, in college and in medical school. So I've had a lot of practice. That's all I've had is practice. And we need to educate our downline and new coaches coming in. They need to practice, because at the end of the day, when I talk to someone, when you talk to someone, when someone is coming and they want to buy from you, they can get the product from anywhere. They can join any team. They're joining you. They're joining your relatability. They're joining your energy. And the best way to describe that energy, the best way to channel that energy is for them to see you and hear you. And so that's why I think it's going to help us to get on camera more, because some of us are really busy and it's really hard to schedule calls all the time and to do calls at times and really talk to them and develop those relationships. And so this is a relation, and so again, that's a skill set, and there's tons of other skills, and I'm not going to go into skills because it's almost time to go, but coming up with a game plan. And so one thing that they talked about are goals. And I thought this was really great. Goals, when you sit down and write your goals, a goal should not be something that you can achieve. If you can achieve, that's a waste of a goal. A goal has to be something that you don't know how you're going to achieve it, but that you will achieve it. It has to stretch you. And so I've been sitting here and I'm like, oh, I'm going to reach this. I'm going to reach that. I know I'm going to reach it. I'm like, wow, those are not goals. And for someone like myself, I dream really, really big. I have to kind of sit down and think about what are my goals going to be? And so for you, I want you all to stretch yourself, write big goals, write them down. Another thing, which I'm kind of thinking about Catherine, because Catherine does so much personal development and she does so much visualization, and that's going to help. Oh my goodness. Because all these people, if you can visualize where you're going. All of these successful people talked about how much they visualized to the man they married, to the woman. They had all the traits, all the things they wanted in their house. Write it down, visualize it, put it out into the universe. If you are someone, and I've had coaches who come up to me and they have a lot of trouble visualizing, and they have a lot of trouble setting goals, and that's going to hurt them. And there's a reason why they have those things. There's doubts, there's fear, there's, not really thinking they're not going to achieve that. But even with money, there was this one kind of skill, there was this one activity that I was like, I got to tell my team this, but where if you want money, so the way you do this is you start with $15,000, let's say $10,000. You write down in a notebook what you would do with every single dollar of that $10,000, like $500, pay credit card. $200. So you do that, $10,000 every day. You do that once a day. Then the next day you add another $10,000, and be very specific about how you're going to spend that money. Be very, very specific, and do that every single day. And so the woman who told us this, she was like, I've been doing this every single day and I'm up to like 2.1 million. And you know what her check is this year? 2.1 million. And so she's been doing that every single day, that visualization of that of how, and I was like, I'm going to do this, because I was like, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to write these goals down of how I'm going to achieve this and how I'm going to achieve that. But I want you guys to do that. And it's like, if all these people in a room full of all these, successful people, and they're all saying the same thing, I have to listen to them. I'm not going to sit here and say, I know better. I'm going to acknowledge, I'm going to say, okay, there's something in here. And so game plan. And so kind of moving forward, one thing that I know that we need to do better as a team. So how many of you, and kind of nodding your head, how many of you want to have a 6-figure income? How many of you want to have a 7-figure income? Holla, what I want you to do now is I want you to pull out your tracker. Because none of you are going to pull out your some of you will, but a lot of you will not. And that is where we have been failing as a team, is that we're not tracking our business. You want a game plan? How are you going to have a game plan without knowing what you're doing? We need to track our business. All the top 10 companies, they know how many iPads they're selling. They know how many Apple Watches they're selling. You need to be tracking your business and knowing how many people you're talking to, how many people you're developing relationships with, how many people you're doing your follow-ups with. You need to know that every single day, because that's going to give you data. It's going to help you to know what you need to improve upon. Because if you sit at a month and you say, okay, I've been adding 3 people. I've been talking to 3 people every day, 3 people for a month. You know those 3 people and you're sitting there, that's 90 people and you have not sold a challenge pack. We need to look at that. You and I together need to sit down and look at that, because either you're not closing right, or either there's something that you're not doing correctly, or you're not talking to enough people. But I need to know that so that I can help you. And you need to know that so that you can help your coaches. And you need to know that so that you can evaluate yourself. And I'm guilty. I'm like the number one guilty person, because I have not been tracking myself. I just get it done. But I recognize that is not good. I recognize that moving forward, I need to, because I want to take this to the next level. And I want to help more people. And so I need to have a record of what I'm doing so that I can continue to set those goals more effectively. And I think the way we're going to do that is coming, when a new coach comes in, that's in the GSR, day 1, that is what we talk about. Day 1, what I want you to do is I want you to send 25 messages just to connect, not even say anything, just to connect and say, hey, how are you? It's been a long time. Just to connect. Don't even talk about the biz. Don't even talk about the product. Don't even talk, just to start connecting. We tell new coaches coming in to do that. And then every day after that this is what you're going to do. You set the expectation. We are going to together collectively, we're going to set that expectation that you're going to write down 3 names every single day that you're going to be talking to and following up. And there's with the tracker that we have, the business activity tracker, we have the power of 3s, and I actually have a new one that I'm going to just share with you guys that is like a little combination of both. And so I think you guys will like that better. But it's based off of the power of 3s and being able to know who you're friending, who you're following up with, who you're talking to, because I think that's going to help us, because that's going to show activity. And then that way you're going to be able to know who is working the business and how to help them. And if we set those expectations collectively as a team, I know for a fact this team is going to explode. I have no doubt in my mind. But we need to we need to practice the right habits that are for a business. We need to and again, this is for those who want to do this as a business. We need to really change our mindset and look at this and treat it as such. And so that's kind of all I want, that's kind of some of the things that I wanted to say. It's definitely, I don't know about you guys, but I know I'm super pumped. I know this has been an event that is changing, that is changing, that has changed me and has changed how I look at this profession in a good way. And I know, all of you guys know events are powerful. Events are so powerful. But what's going to help us be even more powerful is team calls like this, connecting. This calls on Sunday nights. Level 2s are on Monday nights. Those level 2 calls are really important for you to attend as well, because if you don't attend them, what makes you think your downline is going to attend them? And so be very, and at the end of the day, I know a lot of you are busy and I'm busy too. And so I always make this a priority for myself if I'm not working. A lot of you guys, I know kids get sick. That's fine. But just don't make it a habit make it a habit to be on than not to be on. So that you guys can learn from each other and we can work collectively and we can train together. Because again, this is skills, this is practice, this is repetition. This is, a lot of you have people you want to build and you want to train, and you're going to collectively get that from the collective group. As you watch myself, you watch other leaders lead others, and you're going to know. Now a lot of you are thinking, you're like, oh, I've never thought of that, or I never thought of saying it like that, or that's a really interesting way of saying things. And that's how I learn. All this stuff that I told you is everything I learned this weekend. I didn't know it, but I'm sharing it. And so team calls are really, really, really important. And this is my plug-in, and like every person, you know, and so it's so important for us to get on the team calls, to get our coaches on the team calls, because this business is such an isolating business. And I say it so often. And because so many of us, you know, really battle with our mind, that we really battle internally, this team, you know, collectively, we can really work together to kind of bring us back in and kind of get that spirit up again. Because this bit, you know, what we do is we help others build themselves. That's really what we do. It's not just the fitness, not the weight loss. We help people really go after those dreams and achieve those dreams. Who's that? Someone's over here. Oh, it's Kristen. But yeah, so you know, any thoughts, any comments that, you know, or how did that make you feel? Or did that, you know, kind of was, you know, any thoughts at all? Or okay, if not. Oh, Lori. Sylvia, raised your hand. Hello. Hi, Sylvia.
Hey, so is anybody else super excited for the app?
Yes.
So I'm like, I feel like it's going to be a lot more organized than the Facebook challenge group, and I feel like it's going to really take a business to the next level. I'm stoked.
Yes, I agree. I was very impressed when I saw it, and I was just like, this is pretty cool. And it's going to, like you said, it's just going to really allow you to take your, you know, be able to, it's going to be a tool that you're going to be able to use to really help your clients.
And be professional. It just feels like it's going to be a lot more professional.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else? Nope. All right, guys. I'm going to let you guys go. There's not going to be a level 2. We're going to have a call on Tuesday night, just because we're going to be we're coming back from Las Vegas tomorrow, so we don't get home till the night. So we're going to make an announcement that the call for level 2 will be on Tuesday night this week, at the same time, 8:45 Eastern time. And then next week, next Sunday night, we'll also have another call. And so yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Bye.